Howdy, I hope you've had a good day. Silver Trade here again with another video. Roaring Kitty unpinning his tweet last week was basically him pulling the pin from the GME nade. And can we just take a second to appreciate how GameStop just had its highest weekly close in the last 92 weeks? Are we breaking out of the box that Roaring Kitty was referring to with his gift picture? GameStop finished last week at $33.09, breaking out of the Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame. And then this next week is going to be a 4-day week. For whatever reason, the quote-unquote meme stocks love to move around these 4-day trading weeks. Back on January 18th of 2021, GameStop saw a 65% week during a 4-day trading week. And on May 27th of 2024 for Memorial Day week, GameStop ran another 50% in that 4-day trading week. I love to see the 4-day trading weeks, especially with this kind of volume leading into it. On the daily, GameStop's also breaking out of its Bollinger Bands, with harmonic volume leading us into next week. A lot of the time in any stock, Friday sets the tone for next week. But please remember, none of this is financial advice and we are not financial advisors, and this video is made for entertainment purposes only. If GameStop were to run 50% next week, that would put us at about $50 per share. And Ryan Cohen gets a lot of flack for the quote-unquote dilutions, but we're up 43% since then, and GameStop's cash on hand is up over 406% since then. Right now, GameStop has 435 million shares. But GameStop is allowed to have up to 1 billion shares on their common stock. So if Ryan Cohen was really just trying to dilute it to the ground, he could over double the float. But he wouldn't do that because he's the largest shareholder. And this is just a theory, but some people believe Roaring Kitty unfollowed Ryan Cohen, maybe because Roaring Kitty now has more shares than Ryan Cohen. In the movie V for Vendetta, he says, "Join me a year from now." Lo and behold, we're close to a year mark from when he last live streamed and tweeted. There are no Cohen sentences. Ryan Cohen unfollowed Bitcoin on April 22nd when Bitcoin was trading at around $85,000. GameStop is up 26% since then, and Bitcoin is up 24%. The weekend before that, Ryan Cohen was deleting tweets from May of 2021. Including a post from the date of Kitty's return in 2024. Kitty unfollowed Ryan Cohen exactly 1 month later on May 22nd. We've looked at GameStop's filings before where they talk extensively about buying Bitcoin, and I think that Ryan Cohen might have already bought Bitcoin, but nothing has been confirmed yet.
Listen, as to their almost $5 billion they have in cash, again, no debt, by the way, we think they should put at least half of that amount, at least $2.5 billion should go into Bitcoin at this point. The problem that Ryan Cohen, excellent CEO, has is that he should have made these moves a year or 2 years ago when Bitcoin was $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
But that's what an if, right? That doesn't matter anymore, right? That's in the past. But for the future, you say this is a good approach, though.
Absolutely. It's a great special situation stock. We played AMC. We did well there. We used Trump Media, did well there. We think GameStop is going to 50 on this move, ultimately $100, because this is now a $13 billion hedge fund that's got the ability to invest in Bitcoin, which is just getting started. Is the best supply-demand story there is. We applaud Ryan Cohen on this excellent move.
And today, Roaring Kitty got a new achievement on his Reddit account for scrolling a whole bunch of posts. Either way, he's shaking the bushes again. He was active last week as well, unpinning his tweets, setting off the GME nade. There's quite a few hints that we'll see him again soon, maybe with a YOLO post. Larry Chang, GameStop's board member, logging for future reference, GameStop. Institutional ownership at 34%. Total shares outstanding, 447. And he also put down here total value of holdings in the millions. Is this another hint at them buying Bitcoin? And is this a hint that something big is about to come and institutions are going to pile in even more? We were really excited about how GameStop's 0% bonds were ripping ever since they got released. And we were talking about them when they were at 125%. But last Friday, GameStop's bonds created an all-time new high at 131%. Looks like smart money is piling in. And beyond its numerical representation, 741 is also linked to the 741 operational amplifier, op-amp in electronics. This component is known for its ability to amplify signals, theoretically, to infinity. And please don't click off too quickly, but here is a well thought out chart linking the moon lunar cycles to GameStop's price. It sounds crazy, right? But this gentleman brings up some really good points, like the 741 code. Years 1 through 7 are active price discovery. The stock searches for the furthest boundary attainable before returning to the mean. This is where the highest highs or the lowest lows can be found. For the 4, years 8 through 11 are consolidation. These are reacting to the 7 previous years. This is where it returns to the mean from the boundary and consolidates while volume builds towards the next transitory event. And then for the 1, year 12 is transition or reversal. Once it has tested the mean, it reverses away to begin the next cycle. The trend will shift from the previous cycle's pattern into the next macro testing trend. 7 years of price discovery, 4 years of consolidation, and then one more test from the mean. 7 years of price discovery, and look at that. On the 7th year, right here and right here, it has engulfing candles that change the direction of the price. This is on the yearly time frame for GameStop. And then we have 4 years of consolidation. So we had our 7, we had our 4, and now we're about to have our 1. This chart makes it a lot easier for me. We have 7 years of price discovery, 4 years of consolidation, and then 1 year of reversal. 7 years of discovery, 4 years of consolidation, and then 1 year of reversal. And I really hate to give this any more attention than it's already gotten, but with 50,000 views, that is way more than we ever get, so I'm just going to show y'all as well. Mike Alfred, probably some random grifter, posted back on 3/27/25, buy Bitcoin, not GameStop. And then back in 2021, he stated, I prefer Ethereum over GameStop and AMC. And then recently on 5/25/25, he said that he had just finished a wine with Ryan Cohen, and that Ryan Cohen might announce Bitcoin buy this week, and he says to be ready. Is this just another grifter, or is this one of those buy the rumor, sell the news kind of things? Either way, with Roaring Kitty's bush shaking, GameStop's price action, and it being a 4-day week, I couldn't be more excited to see what happens with GameStop next week. And I need to look more into this, but on Reddit, people are saying that over the weekend, Rocket Lab, RKLB, tried launching Neutron, which has been a huge thing that people have been waiting on for years, but it exploded the entire facility. So the stock might have a really bad Tuesday. What Rocket Labs does is they make reusable rockets for getting satellites up into space. And with the way the technology is moving, there's going to be a lot more people trying to get satellites up into space. If you would have bought it 1 year ago from today, you would have almost 10x your money. But obviously, do your own research, and we'll talk more about this soon. And Trump's trying to build the Golden Dome like they have in Israel to protect Americans, and China quickly got upset with this and said, this undermines global strategic balance and stability. China expresses serious concerns over this. We urge the United States to abandon the development and deployment of a global missile defense system as soon as possible. They don't want us having nice defenses. That is hilarious. Long story short, I see next week being a really good week for GameStop. I really appreciate y'all if you made it this far in the video. Thank you so much, and God bless.